Hello everyone, my name is Liam and this is part 2 of my Magnesium Breakdown series. Today we're going to talk about Guardian Dreadnought and my latest album, Planet of Creation. So let's get started. So Guardian Dreadnought was actually a single, or an EP you could call it, because I released the main track, the standard edition, with an instrumental edition and an orchestral edition. So 3 tracks in total. There really wasn't a theme to this one. It was actually a post-rapture story that I came up with in my head. Kind of similar to the weirdness of Dying Angels of the Sunset, in terms of just level of weirdness, because my brain is kind of screwed up. So the story goes like this. There's a man living on Earth. This story takes place on Earth, in like the real world. And the rapture happens, boom, everyone's gone. He's left behind, and then the devil kind of comes and takes over everything. But I kind of took a different spin on like the personalities of the devil, so to speak. So like the Guardian Dreadnought would be the devil, and his angels would be dreadnoughts, so to speak. It's kind of dark, but it's kind of cool. I tried to make it a little bit lighter by adding some cool images into the artwork, which we'll talk about in a second. So that's kind of the gist of the song. However, the song itself was actually really frustrating to record. It took me almost 3 months to do one song, and it took me almost a week to record the vocals for the whole song. Normally I record 2 or 3 songs a day for vocals, but for some reason this song took a whole week just for the song. It was really frustrating. It is a very technical song to sing and play on guitar, so it was really frustrating. It took me 3 months for the whole song, but the orchestral edition only took me 2 days. That goes to show how much work I actually put into the main track. The orchestral edition was a lot of just experimenting on different things. I'd never composed symphonies before, so it was really experimental and trying to get it right. I think it did in the end. It turned out really well. So that's the gist of the Guardian Dreadnought song. Also, the guitar solo on Guardian Dreadnought gave me a lot of confidence as a guitar player. That was the first time I think I was able to confidently say I can sweep pick. It's only using the top 3 strings for the guitar solo, but better than nothing. And since then, of course, Breakthrough featured a ton of sweep picking on all 6 strings. We'll talk about that though in part 3, which is coming soon. So that's the gist of Guardian Dreadnought. 3 tracks. It's very fun to play live. I typically end my live shows with this one because it's just so epic, and it's a bit longer, which is nice. So yeah, that's Guardian Dreadnought. And so we'll look at the artwork now. For the artwork for this, green is the color of this album. It just made sense to me to make green the color because green can be a happy color, but it can also be a really dark and sort of moody color, I think. The neon green, at least. So you can see I kept up with the theme of the smoke in the background. So I think it works really well though, because there is, of course, as you can see, a volcano at the bottom of the artwork by the title of the song. And that's spewing out toxic lava. And something important to note about this song is that a lot of objects or things you see in my artwork are mentioned in the song. So if you don't really understand what's going on in the artwork, then you should go listen to the song. And if you don't really understand what's being told of in the song, then you can go look at the artwork. So it kind of coincides with each other. And you can also see some lightning coming down from the storms being caused by just the destruction of Earth from the rapture. Toxic lava flowing down the volcano, and there's also, you can see 2 big menacing green eyes behind the smoke, and that sort of represents the Guardian Dreadnought. Something pretty cool, I guess, about the title for this song is Guardian Dreadnought kind of parallels Guardian Angel, so that's kind of my thought process behind that. You can also see there's some silver chrome wings kind of covering the smoke that's billowing out from the volcano. And you can see also on the shoulder area, on the upper arm, there's also suspension shocks. Again, keeping up with the car part theme, because I think car parts look cool and they look metal. The wings are kind of meant to represent like a shield covering the volcano, but the cool thing about it is they're actually making the situation worse, because the more smoke into the sky, the worse it gets for the air quality. So the devil might think he's doing the right thing by covering up the volcano, but he's actually making it worse. And I think that's true to real life also. Is sometimes I've always pictured like the devil as kind of like he thinks he knows what he's doing, but in reality he's doing the complete opposite of what he probably wants to be doing, just because he's so screwed up. That's kind of a deep spiritual moment right there for me, but I don't know. That's just my crazy brain at work. So that's Guardian Dreadnought, guys. I hope you all liked the song when it came out. This song was released on October 4th of 2019, and I did my first Magnesium live show on October 5th. So I did the first live show ending with this song under 24 hours after the release, which was pretty cool. I'm going to touch on Planet of Creation a little bit now, my latest album. This album is fully instrumental, and it's actually not a metal album. It's a very, very diverse, with tons of variety, kind of mixed emotions album. The goal of this album was to put the listener into the locations that the songs were talking about. So for example, forest, the listener would feel like they were in the forest, or ocean, it would feel like they're surrounded by an ocean. It's a very interesting idea I had when I was first creating the draft for this, or the demos, but it turned out to be very, very challenging in the end because I had to rigorously study many different genres to get it right, because I really wanted to get it right. For example, I had to really study hip-hop and a little bit of EDM to get Skyscraper right. And normally, in those genres, electric guitar isn't a thing. So if you go listen to Skyscraper, that might be one of the only hip-hop songs, instrumental-wise, from a metal artist that has guitar in it. I'm not going to go over each track individually, because I think they're all kind of self-explanatory on what they're trying to tell. But I will talk a little bit about Mountains, the final track of the album. This was supposed to be kind of the epic finale of the Magnesium 1-year cycle of 4 releases. We start with really powerful, kind of majestic vibes, and then we end, of course, with power metal. This is the only metal segment in the album, the last bit of Mountains. And I wanted to end with power metal because Magnesium will always be power metal. Always. There's no reason that I should do another non-metal album. The only reason I did a non-metal album was because I wanted to prove that I'm not just a metal guy. I think it's very important to be diverse as a musician, so that's why I did that. In terms of guitar for this album, all the guitar was actually improv. I basically sat down and pressed record and started playing for every single song. I think there was only 1 or 2 licks that I actually prepared. So yeah, that's Planet of Creation. We can take a look at the artwork now. This was very challenging. The artwork took me longer than the music to make. It was all freehand. All my artwork is freehand, by the way. I used Pixelmator for my art. It's basically the affordable version of Photoshop. The artwork features all of the different locations of the album placed on top of my Schecter Damien Platinum, which is the guitar I use. Awesome guitar. Highly recommend it to any metal guitar player. The background doesn't have smoke because this, like I said, this is a non-metal album, so I wanted to make the artwork feel a little bit different than the rest because it's non-metal. I actually added a motocross track because I love motocross and dirt bikes and stuff. I actually added that into the artwork. My favorite part of the artwork is probably the waterfall at the front flowing off the body of the guitar. Waterfall and the galaxy on the fretboard for space. I like those. I like designing those. So that's Planet of Creation, guys. This has been part 2, and part 3 we will talk about Breakthrough, which has got some really insane guitar solos and really fast songs. So thank you guys for watching part 2. We'll see you in part 3.